Hi everyone, Geoff Nicholson here. Look, we got the old Baan Baa School. We're involved with the Drovers Campfire. We have little tours out to here to have a look at the old school, and we have a bit of a meal and all for the people when they come out, and they just look around all the gardens and everything, and it just gives them something to do while they're camping at the Drovers Campfire, and go around here and have a look at the old buildings, how we've sort of got them going again, and there's a little museum to look through and plenty of room to sit in the garden. We have a few yarns and find out that some people originally from here come just to have a look again. So they just like the day out, and it's just a good little spot. A lot of history around this area. So, you know, we've got provisions down the back there, you know, if people want to say camp and have a look about, and then a lot of them want to know that might have lived here originally. Well, they'll start talking about the history of the place, and that means that people that haven't been here, they find out a lot about it. So it's just a good spot, I suppose, the easiest way to put it. And the other thing about the old Baan Baa School here is originally this veranda was not all there. It was a dirt floor along the front of the building, and then this piece here where it says Baan Baa Public School, that was originally open, and they closed it all in and turned it into a library in 1982, and it was opened by one of the education ministers, I think it was, to commemorate that part as well. So that's just another bit how, as years went by, an old building got a little bit modernised, say from a dirt floor to a nice wooden veranda, which is here, and they put a garden in there and all that sort of things for the kids to make it easier to get into the schools. And that building was shifted here many years back. I'm not sure where it come from, we haven't been able to find out. That building was back in the 1800s, but even though it's quite a good little building, it's all original. It would have had a fire in there for the kids, you know, to keep them warm. And then after, at one stage, they did use it for craft room because the little kids sort of probably dwindled off. So it was ideal for that. But it's totally original. It's back in have to be in the 1800s, that one. And it was all cut locally here. It's cypress pine again, all locally cut. We're standing in front of the school bell for the Baan Baa kids that know to come in from assembly. The bell, there's a bit of a story goes with this bell here. Originally there was a frame built out behind this building in the yard by Alan Fordham, a resident here. He used to do a lot of jobs for the school. He made the old frame, put the bell on it, but when the school closed down, the locals, for safekeeping, took the bell away in case it disappeared, being a brass bell. So we found out about it. It was over at the fire station, so we went and retrieved the bell with Len Shields and made this frame up for it and put it up there just as history. And as everyone walks in, they all give it a bit of a ding and a dong, because that bell was made in 1960. It's actually printed on there as a Baan Baa School. So we just wanted to have it back just for originality, for everyone to have a look at and have a play with. It's good to have it. And just here there's a few of the original coat hooks where the kids hung their bags, their hats, and whatever they brought to school with them. We've got the old telephone here to ring up and tell them they've been misbehaving by the teacher. I'm not sure the age of it, it's got a fair bit of age about it. It's the old party line style where you just rang through long, short, or whatever, like a Morse code style. So, but these hooks, all these buildings here have got all these hooks for everyone to hang on to. And it's funny, you know, people that come to visit you now or come to say hello and have a cuppa, you'll find the handbags, their hats and whatever they got with them, all hanging on there, just like you're at school it was. Now we're into the library which we spoke about before. It's no longer a library. When people come for a cup of tea or whatever, we might have a few scones or whatever here, we all come in here and we set it all up on these tables and everything there, and we get it all, and then we follow around through these doors into the main original schoolroom, and we all sit down and have a yarn. And we're coming to the main original schoolroom here, which we've now set up for everyone to just sit down and enjoy themselves in with either a meal or whatever. Got the old piano there if you're keen to have a go on that. And as I said, basically this was the school room for the younger of the pupils in the later days. As you can see by some of the walls, they had blackboards and the other there like the hessian to pin things on for when they were students. So, but we said we've converted it over now just for entertainment for ourselves and friends or whoever turns up. And the whole room is still very original. So as I said, this one was put up in 1927. It's probably been revamped a bit, but it's just amazing how it's stood the time of day, you know, with the big high windows and all original. So it's just a good little building. When we first bought the school and the residents and everything, it was sort of very dry and overgrown because it had been decommissioned probably some 6 years back. That means it wasn't really looked after in the garden wise, apart from the buildings, and all the trees sort of fell down or just went, you know, little suckers everywhere. And you can see how dry it was. And we've got the house here, this little photo of the house, which now if you look at it, it's totally different. They were just sort of weeds and pieces in there. And this little weenie photo here, this is out to my left there. You'll see it through the day. It was totally overgrown with little suckers from a black wattle. You couldn't even walk through them, so it took us many days to pull them out. And this building here is the lower at the next school building, but which is totally different now, as you can see.
Hi, I'm Karen Nicholson. Obviously I own the school with my husband Geoff Nicholson that we're slowly restoring and bringing back to life. Obviously the garden is my passion, but this also is another passion of mine, is the museum. I collect and restore antique irons. Obviously it also is good with the museum is with the Drovers Campfire. We have tours here over the weekend of the campfire, and we have tours of the school plus a lunch, and then obviously people tour the museum. I have lots of good feedback. People just like to see the history. Brings back lots and lots of memories to the older people, especially the gentlemen. They tend to pick up different irons and think, that's what I used to have to do for Mum. I used to have to put the shell light in there and pump it up and get the flame burning, and also replace the flat irons back onto the hot stove to get them hot, take them over to Mum. A lot of them, the handles were obviously burnt at certain times. And a lot of the gentlemen said their job was, especially the shell light ones, when they caught on fire, their job was to throw it out the back door of the kitchen or the laundry. But yeah, it is a passion. This is how they start. I bring them back to life. I sandblast them, polish them, paint them. We like to keep them as original as possible. They all work. It's very rewarding when people come to the museum. They leave lovely comments in my visitors book. But yes, it's more so just not a collection bug, but it's just memorabilia. It's history, just keeping the history alive, showing especially younger generation what the older generation used to have to use. It just wasn't plugged into the PowerPoint at any given time. So, but and as I said, the garden is my passion. So we work very, very hard to have it as a tourist area. And yeah, but most people that come, very good feedback. And the Drovers Campfire, I think we've been doing it for 4.5, 5 years now. And yeah, I've had people on several tours that have been the year before, and they book just to come back to see what we've done or changed anything. And I have quite a few customers that come back just for the lunch, so that makes it good too. This is my visitors book. Obviously I have lots and lots of comments. I have lots and lots of visitors. Obviously, as you can see, everybody tends to write something, but and a lot of people that use the free camping, they also come and browse and look in the museum and around the garden, and the comments are always good. And yeah, I'll be running out of pages. It's slowly starting to fill up. A lot of school students, principals, former ones, they've come back and they can't believe what we've done to the school. They quite often say the school looks better now than it did look back when they were here. But yeah, we have a lot of visitors, a lot of sticky noses from the road. Obviously the garden attracts the attention. Quite often as they pull past, if I'm in the garden, I'll give them a wave and they stop, and a lot of people don't realise it's not a school anymore. And then I usually invite them in to have a look around, and then they're here for hours after, so well worth their stop it is. So
Try it out. It does actually work. You do get a sweat up, or wear your lunch off, one or the other. She's a beauty. And the old water pump, that's a well pump, you know. Most people had a well going back a few years ago for cooler water or their supply. That's a Cowling Gleason, they call it. It's all cast iron, very reliable. As you can see, it's probably, could be 100-year-old or more, and still basically would work if you wanted to do a bit of work on him. We have a time capsule here. It was laid down in 1985 for the school centenary, the 100-year centenary, and a lot of the, I think, students and maybe some of the people around have got letters and pieces in there in this capsule, and I presume it'll be dug up in 100 years. And when we bought the school, they were a little bit worried about it, and I said, look, we'll caretake it, look after it, don't shift it, because it's here specifically for the school. So, and Peter Hudson, he was the chairman of the centenary, he helped lay it, and so we're going to look after it. And I won't be able to see in 100 years what in there, but it'll be very interesting because this will be preserved and left here.